Hello YouTube, Brian Phury all the way from Zambia. Let's look at FL Studio's built-in Sylenth1. I'm responding to a request I got about almost a year ago. A lot has been going on after the past year. I apologize for taking so long. And I'm going to be reviewing one of FL Studio's built-in plugins. And looking at synthesis, it's FL Studio's built-in Sylenth1. Sylenth1 is an amazing plugin. There is no way it can be replaced. But the reason why I'm showing you this plugin is simply because Sylenth1 is expensive. It might blow your budget. So let's get right into it. Some of you might have guessed it. FL Studio's Sylenth1 is GMS. GMS is a very nice program. In spite of the fact that I have Sylenth1 now, I still use GMS in some productions. I put together a little instrumental here. I'll play it for you and show you how I made it after showing you what GMS can do. So firstly, we're going to initialize the preset. Then I just like to draw up some chords. So simple, but good enough for what we want to use it for. So basically, we're going to start in this little box here. GMS has got 3 oscillators. 1, 2, 3. So we have the soul. Here we have the soul, and you can see how many shapes it has. It has quite a lot, even more than Sylenth1. So there's something that that GMS can do that Sylenth1 cannot do. So I'll leave it as a soul. Then we also have fine pitch. You can. I'm sure if you've at least been producing for a month or so, you know what a pitch is. And then we also have a fine tune knob. You can fine tune. Yeah. The only thing I'll apologize for this. The only thing I do not know what it does exactly or how to explain it is this. I just mess around with it sometimes. Then the mix. Oscillator 1, you can't really change the volume for oscillator 1. It's the lead. Oscillator 2, you can change the volume right over there. Oscillator 3 as well. Then you also have a noise. So I doubt you can change the type of noise. If anybody knows how to do that, I would really love to find out. Then we have the unison, unison is basically the number of voices. So let's say we have the more we turn it up, the more voices our sound seems to have. So oscillator B, I'll make oscillator B a saw wave as well, and I'll drop it 12 cents. I don't know if it's cents or whatever. Then I'll raise the volume for oscillator B up to 75. So not too much, 50. Yeah. There's also the retrigger. That is definitely on Sylenth1. Though in Sylenth1 it's on each oscillator. In here it works for all 3. Then you can also mess around with the number of voices. Yeah. Then this is a stereo image. You can sterilize. I'll probably want it stereo, but not too much. Then this is the detune knob. Detune is basically the spaces in between each voice. I don't know how I can say that better. And this is mono. Like mono, it will only play one note at a time. If I hit it, in this case it's playing the bass notes, but sometimes it tends to go crazy. I'm trying to go through it as quickly as possible because I also have to show you the beat and explain it. So yeah, this is the octaves. One octave down. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. Then here you have the bank and you have the preset. Then here you have the filter envelope. We have three types of filter. There's a low pass, the band pass, and the high pass, which are all here. Then the cutoff knob is right here. That's what resonance. Normally you can only tell what resonance does if the cutoff is doing something. Then you have the envelope. It either controls the filter, any of these three, modulation, frequency, or LFO. This is the amount knob. Attack, decay. It doesn't have sustain or release. Then we have the main LFO. It also controls the similar things, but it doesn't control, like this envelope can control the LFO. And then over here is level. So yeah, this is the amount. You have shapes. You can have a sine wave, a triangle. I think that should be a saw or a square. Then amount, rate. Then rate, you can have it in beats or bars. Then you also have the trigger, invert. Same applies here. You have the invert. I do not know what that is. Don't ask. Then you have the main. Then you have the main envelope: attack, decay, sustain, release. Attack is. I think that if I start explaining what an envelope is, it's going to take me a very long while. So I'll just move on. If you guys really want to know in depth what GMS does, let me know. Maybe I'll make it one of my future videos. But let me know if you're interested. Then you have distortion. I don't know if you can say punch. Like this is distortion. This is the effects menu. This is the effects menu. You have distortion. Let's say if I want to add distortion, I don't just click on distortion. That's crunch. I think I like to call it crunch. It adds some kind of crunch to the sound. Yeah, as well here, I think it's also a kind of distortion if you think of it. As well, every time on the right side of parameter X, you can see what it's controlling. They call it a crush. Yeah, I think it should be bit crush somewhere. Parameter Y is controlling the filter. Then there's the flanger. These, I don't have to explain these individually. There's the phaser. That's the low pass filter, high pass filter. Delay, they call it echo here. Reverb, pan, and I think it's written trance, but I think this is more like a gate. You can create some sort of sidechain effect with this. Yeah, you get the drift. I think GMS qualifies to be called FL Studio's built-in Sylenth1. It's an amazing plugin. If you start using it now, you probably will never stop. And I would advise you to start using built-in plugins a lot, as well as built-in samples. They are very useful in spite of their lack of use. I put together a little instrumental. It doesn't only consist of GMS, also consists of other plugins, but I don't think I used any external plugin. I tried as hard as possible not to use any external plugin, but I did use external samples. I'm just very much used to them. So here's how it sounds. So that's the instrumental. Then we're going to go through it a little bit. For the first couple of weeks, for the first couple of tutorials, I'll be showing you the power of FL Studio as a DAW. Basically, personally, on a personal basis, I do not think there's a better DAW out there. Maybe it's my lack of experience with them, but FL Studio is very much user friendly, and it keeps getting better and better. I started using FL Studio in FL Studio 9. Now it's FL Studio 20, and it's amazing. So all of the tracks that are up online, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, everywhere, I made in FL Studio 12, I'm sure. Whenever I start making a beat, I always try to figure out what scale I'm working in. Sometimes I figure it out after drawing up a lead. Sometimes I figure out the scale before making a beat. But in this case, I made the scale before making the beat because, I was just trying to put up a tutorial. It's for tutorial purposes. This is a C# minor scale. If you don't know what a minor scale is, FL Studio has helped you out a bit. Right under here, these are chords. These are scales. So what we're looking for is a minor scale. Minor scale is known as the Aeolian scale in other instances. So minor, natural, and then in brackets Aeolian. So right there. See? Then you just, to create this, you just copy paste, just place it on the C# key or whatever key you want to work in. First thing I did was I came up with these chords. I used FL keys and a closed grand. You can find that right here. Instruments. Keyboard, close grand. I messed around with it a little bit. I'm sure I don't know exactly what I did, but here I know exactly what I did. I think I raised the treble a bit, messed around with the muff and the hardness. Yeah, and probably the ditching as well. I'm not sure. So the piano sound like this. Mixer, I like to use the Phury filter like some sort of EQ. So here it's because of the high pass, it's cutting out some of the lows. So cutting out some of the highs. Then there's a stereo enhancer, just sterilizing it. Then there's a reverb. Right? They're both playing the exact same chords. Just sound better together. Then we have the Star of the Day, GMS. Here's a preset, smooth and warm. I'm very sure I messed around with this. 100% sure. Smooth and warm. Smooth. Yeah, then I think I erased this. Yeah, just that. It's playing. It's giving me more of a string feel. I don't know if I can call it a string. It's more of a pad. It's just filling up some of those empty spaces. Then comes the Moog Sapadi. Nah, it's GMS, the analog bass. I have a distortion on it. Distortion and some EQ. I was trying to simulate a Moog bass. Then we have I want to speak of the lead before the drop. Then we have again GMS. I think already you can see how useful this plugin is. Maybe I messed around with this, but I'm going to give you the FLP for free, so you can mess around with it a little bit more. Just have fun with music. That's the whole point. Then we have again GMS plugin of the day. Another preset. I work with a lot of presets. I know a bit of sound design, but I think I get better results when I start with a preset, then mess around with it. Even with effects, I'll start with a preset, then I'll mess around with it. With the instruments, I'm done. Next would be the drop, but let's leave that for the end. Then we have it's a built-in sample. It comes with the FL Studio. Pretty good. I liked it. I really like it. I'll probably use it in better tracks, more official tracks. I EQ'd it, cut out the bass, and added some reverb. Sorry. Chizunguish. Then I have this little drum groove, which is basically a kick. I think it's a trap kick. MMG. I have a reverb on the kick, some EQ, and La filter. La filter is also acting as an EQ. I like to use either the Fruity filter or La filter as EQs because they count the highs, but they leave resonance. I really like I really like resonance. I think this should have been the proper order. Yeah. Then on the snare, we have some EQ cutting out the low, another EQ cutting out some of the highs, again the low filter, then reverb. Then we have this sample. I am sure I got this from a tutorial on YouTube. It's just a basic crush reversed. Then I have this. I count the lows. Then I have this reverb with a very high decay time. So like the cymbal is reverse. It plays like it's the reverse and it's also the crush, because when you play it that way, it leaves some decay, it leaves some crush there to act as the crush. I don't know if that makes any sense. Next up we have the kick. It's a basic southside kick. This is the main kick, I'm sure. Yeah, I have the transit processor trying to chip out the kick. Just mess around with attack and release, just to smooth it out. Then I have a basic EQ just putting up the bass. Then I have this little build here. It's the same kick, but using this snare that I used here, but it's just mixed in a different way. Here, let me show you. So it's some high pass EQ cutting out the low end, and some reverb. I didn't have the low filter and the rest. I didn't have them here. So on the snare I have an automation. Here's how it sounds. So like right there on the end, the pitch goes up. What I did was I automated this. I simply raised this to 12, then I automated that. The other way is to mess around with the pitch, but that's what I use for this. Then I have this. Yeah, you get that. And this, which as well I messed around with. Then on to the drop. So this one is playing the bass. It's basically the bass. It's the low end, playing the bass notes of the chord progression. And the chord progression is the same. I just messed around with I just messed around with the rhythm. I have a sound godizer. I like to use it more like to bring up the bass. It makes it more present in the mix, you know. Then just add in some volume. I felt like the volume was a bit low. Then this one is basically cutting out the high end, then boosting the bass part a little bit. Then I have the top bass. Sound godizer as well, trying to make it more present. Distortion and some more distortion. This is it's not a preset, I designed this. So this is Harmon. I have sound goodizer as well, and I cut out some of the low end. And I have GMS, plugin of the day. I'm sure I started with the preset. The GMS has some amazing presets. Check them out, mess around with them. Yeah. Same preset, I probably messed around with that, with this. Yeah, mixer insert, this one. Sound goodizer, stereo enhancer, some EQ. Sound goodizer, stereo enhancer, some EQ. I think I normally use sound goodizer like OTT. We'll speak of OTT in the future, I'm sure. I love that plugin. Then I have all these leads, these 3 leads. I think I could call them leads. 1, 2, 3. They are routed to this, where I have a reverb. Now, like I didn't want to have individual reverbs on each of them. I wanted them to sound like they're working together. So I have one reverb on all 3 of them. Then they are routed to the drop bus now, where I have another reverb. Though this is not a reverb. If you checked out the video I did a year ago, which I apologize for, I'm sorry for taking so long. If you check out the video I did a year ago, I spoke of FL Studio's built-in LFO2, which is basically the Phury envelope controller. It's controlling the dry portion, the reverb, hence creating a sidechain effect. Then I used the exact same thing and placed it on the kick pattern to create more room for the kick in the mix. Then the lead, I got this sample from a vocal. I think it's actually, yeah, it's one of the demo projects. Well, this is the vocal that I got the vocal lead from. I just cut out a piece and I normalized it where she says my body. I got that. As you can see, I hit regions, detect pitch regions, and it gave me the pitch region was G. So I dragged that here. I tuned it to G. It's normally here. I tuned it to G. G. You can see right there. Then I turned the attack all the way down, hold all the way up, decay, sustain down, release down. I hit the cut self button. I added some polyphony. Coming to the effects, I cut out some of the lows. I added some distortion. Again, sound goodizer. I felt like this sound was a bit harsh in this region, so I darked some frequencies. Some Phury delay 3. I added some delays, reverb. I sterilized it a bit. I used the preset subtle. Just to fit into the mix, I added a Phury filter, cutting out some of the lows and some of the highs as well. Then this Phury filter is being automated. So I remove it. On the second part of the drop, I added some elements. These are the claps. Then I have some open hats, some hi-hats. Then I have this little sample here. Added some delay and reverb. That's a wrap. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Leave some comments about what you want me to talk about next time. I'll be glad to. Peace out.